Hi, let's take a look on how the CAP and fair user policy work in practice. I have created one plan in the system here, and I will connect a user and we'll try how it works. Let's go through it. Here's the one plan, 10 mega CAP. Price is 20 and 10 mega and 5 meg is upload and 10 is download. Let's configure fair user policy quickly, just to say 1 GB daily. So if customer will use over 1 GB per day, we will reduce his speed 50%. So it means that it will be 5 meg instead of 10 meg. I'm saving it. Let's just make a FUP preview saying, okay, this guy is downloading daily almost 10 gig preview. Yeah, the rule will be applied. Okay, how that will work in practice? We need to connect our router. So I have connected a router MikroTik for test. There's one router in my office, and I have set his IP address, and there is a radius secret, and then I have a router there with a configuration of PPPoE. And let's create a customer. Let's create a client and assign him a tariff plan 10 mega cap. So that will be a customer capman cap Splynx, for example, and customer created. And let's add him a new internet service. Internet service that we have here, 10 mega cap. And okay, it will start from the 1st of December, let's say, and we define his login PPPoE username. It can be the same login for as is used to log into Splynx portal, but I prefer to have a different one. For example, that can be cap user, and the password will be 12345. We can say how the IP address will be assigned. So in this case, I want to give him the permanent IP from the network that we have there, 192.168.20.6, for example. And that's all. Let's try to connect the customer. Okay, the user has connected. We can check his statistics here under online sessions, or we can go to the customer list and there's an online user session here as well. Let's check the speed limitation if it's there. If we go to my queues, there is a PPPoE user with a download of 10 meg and upload of 5 meg. So if we go to statistics, we can see that he's doing the speed test right now with a 10 meg download, and now that will jump to 5 meg upload. Yeah, so everything is working very well. We have to wait a bit to check to get the data here updated because it's done every 5 minutes. Okay, here we got statistics. We see that customers downloading data, and you remember that we set 1 gigabyte of daily limit and then we decrease his speed. So here there is no rule applied. I would like to add the rule here, and that will show me the rule that is applied for the customer. It says no rule, and there are counters for fair user policy and caps. Okay, let's leave this customer to download a bit, and let's check what will happen when he will reach 1 gigabyte speed, if the fair user policy rule will be applied or not. Once again, this rule under 10 meg cap plan, we have 1 gigabyte daily rule. Updated, and we see that the customer is still downloading a lot of data. We can check again on MikroTik router. Here there is a customer line showing 10 megs downloading. And also we can check his statistics. If I click on the customer name here, it will lead me to his details. And then under statistics, there are certain interesting tables and views. So this is my online session. And then what I have activated is a live bandwidth usage because I have MikroTik router and we can connect through MikroTik API. This is the live bandwidth usage. So this is exactly the same what I see on my Winbox. Here I see immediately in Splynx. This is my history of data usage transfer. So we have to wait a bit again to see what will happen when customer will get 1 GB of traffic transfer. And here we see that customer downloaded already 2 GB of data, and there is a rule was applied, a rule which is called -50%, which sets speed to 5 meg download and 2.5 upload. The change was immediately applied in MikroTik router as well. So if I go to MikroTik router, I see it here. So here is the change. And if customer will try to download something and run the speed test, again, under his statistics, I will see that his speed was limited from 10 meg to lower. You can see now, yeah, download is 5 megabit per second. So this is how FUP, fair user policy, works in Splynx and how to set up this kind of basic limitations or ad hoc limitations. So I can also the same way increase the speed. I can increase the speed during night hours or similar. Let's take a look on another setup of the caps. Okay, as I mentioned in the previous video, the cap is my monthly limit. So let's set 10 GB as a monthly limit cap, and then we can add some top-ups. So for example, 1 GB will be top-up for price of €2. Yeah, there is a 1 GB. I'll set it up here, and that will be added to invoice. Save it. So what will be the difference? This customer will continue using this fair user policy, but as soon as he will reach 10 GB in general during this month, he will be switched or he will be locked. It depends on our configuration. So by default, he will be locked, he will be blocked and not able to continue using internet, and he'll have to run top-up. Let's try that. Okay, the customer reached 10 GB of data and he was kicked out, so he was disconnected because of CAP, and here we see that his IP was moved to address list, and then there is a blocked rules that are blocking the client. If I go to customer here on the services, I see that the rule was changed from my fair user policy, that it was changed to my cap. And here we can see that it shows that the cap is 10 gig and he exactly used 11 gig of the data, or 10 gig and half. And if I go to statistics there, I see the same data for a customer there, 10 gig. Let's go to the top-up option. How we can top up data for this customer right now. The first simple option, we can just go there and manually administrator can top up 1 gig, for example. I will do it this way, selecting 1 gig, and I can choose if it's allowed by the settings. Here it's not allowed, and I add 1 gig manually to this customer. He called me and I just added it. I can also allow auto top up and say, okay, this customer will get auto top up of 1 gig when he connects, and then there will be limitation of 10 times or 5 times. So this is the other option, option number 2. When I add the top up, and so let's go to his service. Again, if I click here, it will show me that there is a blue showing 1 gig of additional cap or top up. And also customer can do the same thing from his customer portal. but this should be enabled in the configuration. Let's go to config, find the portal, and under portal, there is a cap and top up. We click here on the per partner settings, and we just scroll down and we enable all the cap and top ups here. And then we just scroll down there and there's a top up settings. Okay, we enable that. Do we want to give option to set up auto top up to customer? Yes. Do we want to give him option to manually top up his account? Yes. This is a very important thing. Let's generate the invoice, for example, and ask customer to pay it before the data are applied, or nothing. Okay, or we can say, okay, I will create you a transaction and the invoice will be generated together with the recurring service. So let's say that customer will get the invoice and he must pay it, and then it will be applied. Or just let's leave the invoice without option to pay. So when everything is done, I just scroll down and click button save. Now when I go to my customer, under his information, I can do the action login as customer to his portal. And then here he can see immediately his traffic, that he's almost reaching his data limit already. There's a 1 gig additional. And he can also go there, and under services, there is a top up option. And he can do automatic top up enabling, or he can make manual top up. So let's go back to services, or let's go here to my dashboard, refresh that, and see that another data were added. Because the invoice, we haven't asked them to pay, so that's why it was added immediately. So this is all what I wanted to show about the top-ups and caps. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact our support and they will help you to set it up. Thank you for your time.